Good afternoon, sir. How you doing today?
Good. How you feeling?
I'm doing a lot better. You know what? COVID strikes again, round two. I still have my smell. I still have my taste. I have like 50 to 60% of my voice today. It's a positive. I'm no longer freezing and shivering and sweating all at the same time. That's always a fun time. But for those that have COVID for the second time, round two, congratulations. You are joining an illustrious group. And so here we are. So if you see me taking a swig, you know why. Um, anyway, how is your week? How is Morgan's birthday? How are we doing?
We're doing fine. The birthday was cute.
Okay.
Diane asked for a chocolate lollipop, which I thought was insane. My mom decided to dump water on my head for no particular reason.
She wanted to see if it would grow hair. She was still hoping
it doesn't. Nor does it turn black or brown. So
we were hoping. You know what? Good on your mom. You know, mom's having fun. Good on your mom. I'm sure your dad was laughing hysterically or completely befuddled, A or B, and your sister was absolutely laughing. No question, your sister was laughing at that. But happy birthday, Morgs, the second of the two this week, and hopefully you enjoy the present. She's not listening, so I can tell you exactly what I got her. She will be suiting up in her Wonder Woman outfit, which is exactly what that says girl power. Is exactly what she should be suiting up in. I am looking forward to hearing if she enjoys it or not. I don't know if you're frozen or not, but you have that look on your face. I guess he's frozen. Oh, now he's gone. Look at Seth gone. Anyway, so congratulations to Morgan. Hopefully Seth will rejoin. I did have some time to take a look at the in between my. Oh, here we go. He's back. He is cycling through. Look at that screen. No, maybe not. We'll take him off until he joins. Anyway, cycling through. I did have a chance to watch some of the Olympic Games. I'm not sure where Seth is. I'm not sure if it's me or Seth either. So. Not me. So we are having technical difficulties with Seth today. Hopefully he will join shortly. Let me try and I can't ban him. Oh, there he is. All right, Seth's back. We were having a problem. So
somehow my internet went down.
Yeah, somehow you were frozen with that incredibly smug grin on your face. Yeah, like that one. So how much? So to repeat, Morgan will be getting her a Wonder Woman outfit, basically, that says girl power on it, and some red shorts, and I think she will very much like it, so I'm looking forward to it. Did you just freeze again? He just froze again with another smug look. This is fantastic. Are you back?
I don't know what to say. I think so.
So how much of the Olympics have you watched?
A decent amount. I'm watching Canyon Berry, Jimmer Fredette, and Kareem Maddox run out right now for the 3-on-3 tournament.
I haven't watched any 3-on-3 basketball. I would think that would be.
Well,
No, I'm thinking that would be a fun event.
Yeah, I think so. I leave it on in my I have everything on in my office.
So do they have any? So how tall are the Americans in this? Fredette, I know, is like 6'4", maybe.
They're not overly tall.
So is the matchup tall? Like I would think you.
I don't know. I don't know who they're playing.
I mean, I would look at if I wanted three guys. I'm thinking I want Hakeem, I want LeBron, and I want Steph Curry. I think that might be my best.
Hakeem?
I want a guy that has low post moves that could also play defense. So that's Hakeem. Or Shaq.
So it doesn't matter that he's been retired for 30 years.
Oh, no. I'm talking about like just 3 guys, right? Over time.
Gotcha.
If you want to say today, okay, today's for the well, I want Anthony Davis, which is basically that's Hakeem. I mean, that's the equivalent. I still want Steph Curry, and I still want LeBron. So I mean,
okay,
I got 2 out of 3. Do you think that there would be? I'm surprised there aren't more NBA players in the 3-on-3. I know in the WNBA they're 3-on-3 players are all WNBA players. Has there been any? Do you know of any information as to why they have not been NBA players in there? Why is Jimmer Fredette?
I don't follow it enough to know. To be
fair enough.
Honest.
Fair enough. So so we have 3-on-3. Did you watch the men's game on Sunday?
Parts of it. I was getting ready for the party.
Okay. So first, the Americans look very good, as they generally do, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Kevin Durant. I'm not exactly sure that he left all that much, but it just proves that he is look, I don't use the word incredible very often, but that was an incredible performance coming off of he hadn't played a full game or 20 minutes of a game 5-on-5 since April, and he comes in and goes 8 for 8, his first 8 for 8. What do you think about Jason Tatum not playing? Because I noticed that during the game. I was like, all right, so there's obviously going to be people that don't play, and it was Tatum and Halliburton. I think Halliburton you've kind of gotten used to not playing, but it was always going to be somebody, right? So it was Tatum this time. First team All-NBA, now playing in the Olympics.
I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest. Would I take him? Look, he may be a top 5, 7, 10 player in the league. Would I take him over the way Durant played? No. Would I take him over the way LeBron played? No. I mean, who again, depending on the lineup you're playing, he's the third or fourth three, to be honest.
Right.
He's not playing the same position Derek White's playing. He's not playing the same position that Curry's playing. I don't think it was done with any malintent. I mean, it was just one of those things.
Yeah, there's always going to be.
Do you think Steve Kerr was trying to make a point with it?
No. The truth be told, I think he said he told Tatum before the game that this was going to be a game where he wasn't likely going to play. And if that's the case, then I don't quite understand Jason Tatum and his reaction to it. If he didn't say that, then I do understand Jason Tatum's reaction. But I think more importantly, this goes to why Derek White was selected and not Jaylen Brown, right? Because
Jaylen Brown is redundant.
He would have just sat on the bench too. Like they needed a backup point guard, and when Kawhi left, it was all right. Let me fill the void that I may have missed to begin with. Let me correct the error that I made.
I think that's the logical look. That's kind of the logic of this, is that Jaylen Brown, phenomenal player, your most underrated player for the last 4 years until he got his $300 million contract. He's kind of redundant in this with this team.
Yeah.
And after your top 8 and you're not taking him over Durant and you're not taking him over LeBron, you're not taking him over Tatum. I mean, you're probably not taking him over Edwards. So, I mean, again, you could take him over Edwards, but it's a different kind of player. You're trying to find something a little bit more separate, a little bit more of a disconnect from the, someone who's more of a role player. Not because Derek White is better than Jaylen Brown. I don't think anyone really thinks that. I think they think that he's, that at least for this tournament, for this year, and I'm not saying this 4 years from now, because 4 years from now, you're not going to have Durant, you're not going to have LeBron, you're not going to have Curry.
4 years. I mean, 4 years from now, your team will include Bam. No question. Bam is going to play as long as Bam wants to play. There are players that are very good for international game that may not be great for the pros, right? I mean, Carmelo, international Carmelo was much better than NBA Carmelo. International Carmelo may be a top 5 international player, U.S. international player of all time. He's not a top 5, obviously, NBA player of all time.
No, most certainly not.
He's probably not even the top 25 or top 50 NBA player of all time. And that's coming from Syracuse. But international, perfect player, right? Especially for the time that he was better than Dwayne Wade as an international player, by far, not even close. He was better than any of the dream team, except for Jordan, in all likelihood, on an international scene. Just international ball.
That's hard to tell. I mean,
because they only played once?
Yeah, they only played once.
Okay.
And Magic was past his prime. Bird was past his prime.
Right. Well, that's my point, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's a hard argument in any direction.
Okay, fair enough. The point is that so if you look at the players that will likely play, look, Derek White may not play another Olympic team.
No,
he may not. By the time 4 years comes, right, he's going to have a lot of equity saved up, but there'll be other players that can fill that role in 4 years that may be better than him in that role in 4 years. Derek White is right place, right time. That's all Derek White was. That's all Derek White is. He's a great player for right place, right time. And I don't see him in 4 years again playing in the Olympics. I don't see him as one of those guys. Drew Holiday, there'll be a better Drew Holiday in 4 years. They're just real, right?
Yes.
But Drew Holiday for this team is perfect. And excuse me, he's perfect for this team. Bam Adebayo is perfect for this team. Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid I do not believe will play another Olympics. This is it. He'll get his gold medal and he'll be like, thank you so much and have a nice day. And
then I'll go try and play for Cameroon.
He has been the most disappointing player on this team.
Yes.
By far. Not even close. First of all, I don't know, the word embarrassed is not a good word, because how can I be embarrassed for what he does? But it is hard to watch him play because he's playing an NBA game on an international field where he's just looking for fouls. He's looking to get to the line. He's complaining the entire time. It's really hard to watch his game and how slow he is on this stage.
Yeah, because
I'm not sure.
This stage is better for Anthony Davis or Bam Adebayo, as you said.
Right.
It's not for a slow plodding center.
Right.
Who, I mean, great player. He's just his athleticism. He physically just doesn't hold up very well.
And Jokic is actually slower, but Jokic has just more skill.
Well, I mean, got more skill than anyone else in the world. So I mean, that's not exactly more. Yeah. It
was interesting watching Jokic on Sunday, how frustrated he was with the play, overall the play. He didn't have a great game, but you could see the disparity between talent, between the A and B, between the U.S. and Serbia. And Serbia does have good talent, but it showed. It's like Serbia, I think, I think it was 10-2. Like they went out to a 10-2 run.
They did. Curry played pretty lousy.
Yeah, but there was never a time where you thought, oh, yeah, this game's over, right? I mean, never, ever. I mean, right, but that's my point.
You're never going to think that in.
Right, that's my point. So, I mean, Halliburton doesn't play. Tatum doesn't play. Tatum sulked. Halliburton was up. Halliburton was the first person up at every timeout. I actually watched to see that. And look, you all know, if you have been a fan of the show, there are three guys. Josh Allen, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Halliburton that I will always follow. We'll get to Josh Allen in a little bit because there was some news with Josh Allen this week too. And but yeah, did you see Coco Gruff went out today?
Yeah, I heard she complained as well, which never happens.
She did. So what happened was, and she was losing big by this time. She was. I'm looking how far she was down, but she was definitely down. The ball was called out by the line judge. He did not hit the ball because it was called out, and the chair umpire overruled the line judge and called it in. To which Coco got.
I've seen that once or twice. That's brutal.
Yeah, because there's nothing you could do about it, right? I mean, it is what it is. And so I'm not really sure how you rectify that over doing it over, but I don't think that's in the rule book that you could do that over. It's either in or it's out. But that is, I'm looking when that happened. That happened late in the match. The American led 4-1. She lost. I can't find it. But she was definitely losing at the time. It gave her a service break and a 4-2 lead. So she was down 3. She was down
a set and a break. Yeah.
Yep, set and a break. So she wasn't having a great game anyway. But look, she's number 2 in the world. She certainly could have come back. But she still gets to play in mixed doubles. She still gets to play in doubles in general. So, but this happened at the French Open as well, where she had a nearly identical call in the semifinal last month. So, her in France, not exactly the greatest of ideas. Kind of like what was it, Boris Becker, who couldn't win on anything but grass, right? He won a ton on Wimbledon and couldn't win on grass. See, I'm pulling this tennis out. Look at this. There's another guy that continually who couldn't win on clay. Who was the other guy that couldn't win on clay?
Sampras.
Sampras couldn't win on clay. Right. I knew that there were a couple, and I knew Agassi always won on clay.
Well, Agassi won the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
He won one of each of the 4. Sampras won like 13 or 14 total, but he never won the French. I think the best he got was a semifinal.
And congratulations to Andy Murray for pulling a rabbit out of his hat.
Wow, that was pretty good. That was nuts.
Yeah, you see? Sean following.
Hold on. We have a special guest who just walked into the office on Seth.
Hey, Mr. Zelia,
the owner of Back Sports Page.
Wait, this is his annual appearance. He makes one of.
But this, I didn't even know he was here.
Wait, does
he didn't know we were hosting?
I was driving through Livingston and went on YouTube and saw you guys were broadcasting. I'm like, I'm passing by the building, so I figured I'd just drop in and say hello.
Is it tax refund day or tax?
Definitely, he's not my client. He just owes me money.
He's not only a member,
I want to give you a
client.
There you go. Like, well, no, that's me. He doesn't need hair club for men.
No,
not yet.
Definitely not.
It's coming.
All right, Randy. So
3-step kids would do that to you.
Yeah. Well, what's up?
All right, so Randy.
So, what were we going to say?
So we're going to switch gears for a second because it's important. I was in Vegas last week, and I'm looking at the over/unders for NFL wins, and I believe the over/under for the Chargers was like 4.5. And your thoughts, sir?
4.5?
Yeah, it was bad.
My prediction is if everything goes right, they're a 7 to 8 win team.
Sorry,
everything is not going to go right.
6.5. So you think everything goes right?
I'll go. That sounds about right, especially from what I saw at camp. And I know today Daniel was a disaster.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was a disaster today.
So this is the last year of Daniel Jones, right? We can establish the last year of Daniel Jones.
If he gets hurt, you're stuck with him for another 2 years because he has a clause in his contract.
A $23 million injury clause.
Yeah. So if he gets hurt and he has to miss a game, he's stuck here for another 2 years.
Okay. So
I think they would still eat it. I would assume they would just $30 million and be done.
Well, I mean, you would have to deal with Wait, did I lose you again? Did I lose you? Oh, you're frozen again. Man, Seth's internet today is not so good. We're going to. So anyway, Seth's internet stinks today. Hopefully he'll jump back on. I'll kick him out of the studio and hopefully he'll jump back on in a second. But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure. I have to look at the Spotrac for Spotrac Daniel Jones. Let's take a look. So how much is for injury? So he's got an out after this year with a $22 million dead cap at the end of this year. Next year, he has a $30 million. Oh, Seth may be back. All right, Seth's back. Here we go. So I'm looking for these for the.
He's back on. Hold on.
I'm looking for the guarantees here. So he's got a $23 million injury guarantee at signing for 2025. So they would have a $45 million dead cap hit if they cut him after this year.
But if he gets hurt, they're going to be 4-12 anyway, and you're going to be using the first round pick on a quarterback.
Yeah, you're
going to have him at a low
absolutely.
Price.
I mean, let's understand that $45 million dead cap hit would still be less than Matt Ryan's. So I mean,
I have to ask Sean. Sean, have you been watching Hard Knocks at all?
No, I don't watch that crap. Zero.
I did. I've watched
one bit. Not one
Have
bit.
you learned anything that you didn't know or you didn't?
Not really.
Yeah, that's the general feeling of was they're putting a TV show on, so they need to find all the stuff that they can find to make it interesting.
That's why I don't watch it, because I'm like, they're showcasing it. But the funny thing is, understand that even if they cut Daniel Jones next year, if Michael Penix is the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, the dead cap on Kirk Cousins will be more than $45 million, and they will have paid him $65 million this year.
Can you find me a quarterback who's found a way to make more money for not winning than Kirk Cousins?
No, and I was going to say Joe Flacco, but he won.
Flacco got a chip in the end.
Well, here, you want a guy that's made more money than Kirk Cousins for not winning? Lamar Jackson.
Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson.
Lamar Jackson.
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
Lamar Jackson at least has 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson has nothing.
Oh yeah,
Watson leads the league with most massage parlors visited. That's what.
I don't know. There's a
no. Bob Kraft. Bob Kraft is definitely
he's
number
an owner,
one.
not a player.
He's an owner. Not
he
a
also
player.
owns the massage parlor, so he's able to go for free. So, but the thing is,
I was going to say because he needs. It is because he certainly needs to go for free.
Yeah,
he's short a little bit on dough over the last few years.
By the way, if you've noticed, Deshaun Watson this past week has painted himself as the victim. He actually came out and said, if everybody would just concentrate on what I do on the field, and I'm kind of like, if you would concentrate on what you did on the field, that would be smart too.
That's like O.J. Simpson. They're saying you guys only keep focusing on the murder trial.
He was a Hall of Famer at some point, right? I mean,
he was. He was also a great actor in The Naked Guns.
Thank you.
And the Hertz commercials.
The Hertz commercials. The Hertz commercials.
So what is going? Because we don't talk too much about BSP anymore. Because let's be honest, I'm not really involved with BSP anymore.
Okay.
What's going on with BSP?
So
what's going on? Give us some insight.
6 podcasts launching. We just made a deal with an affiliate program with Fanatics, with MLB Shop, NFL Shop, NBA Shop, NHL Shop, and WWE. So there's some fun stuff going on there. We still have Jonathan Casillas very much involved with his podcast with us. I co-host with him every Wednesday. And Bill Ingram and I are working on getting a former Dallas Maverick and former New Jersey Nets to do a podcast together. And
it's very important for this question. If you get something with Fanatics, are Seth and I invited to Michael's party? I just want to be invited to the party.
The Michael Rubin parties?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I want to go to the Michael Rubin party.
I may have
Or-
another connection for you if that's really what you want.
Or to be fair, I think you and Seth should go to the Fanatics thing at the Javits Center that's coming up. That have you?
See, I don't know if you know this, Sean, but I'm one of those people where unless I'm like in the press box at the Giants game, I don't like being around people. I because when I am around people, I hear a lot of stupid noise, and it's because they're fanatics. The short term for fan are fanatics, so they're irrational. So and listen, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of media people who are irrational and stupid too. But
we've had a few at the Back Sports page over the years.
Yes. So, but it's just one of those things where getting me to that Fanatics event, as cool as it would be, not interested in being around that many people.
I, on the other hand, would be more than happy to go.
I know.
So, Sean, if you want to come up and if I'm around, I don't know when it is.
No, I think you take Jake. I think you take Jake. I think we have our esteemed leader get you a couple of passes, and Jake becomes the youngest media credentialed person at the Giants.
Just so you know, the U.S. lost to Serbia in 3-on-3. Apparently, having the Jimmer was not enough. The U.S. continuing their silver and bronze run right now.
Wait, so Randy Zelia is all things knowing Giants and all things knowing Nets. I do know this for certain. The over-under for the Nets is 19.5 wins. By the way, I could not find a sports book with the page while I was there last week to bet on the over-under for wins, but I do know it is 19.5. Are you going over or under? 19.5 is – my God, you could fall into 19 wins. I mean –
if you go with the team the way it's constructed now, I don't think it's going to be as bad as everybody thinks they are. Between having Schroeder, if you still have Cam Johnson, if Ben Simmons can play more than 25, 30 games.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Ben Simmons is not playing 25.
And if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. I mean, Ben Simmons
is not playing.
Is the
Wait, so you're taking the over on 19.5?
I think I did too. I just thought it was too little.
I'm taking the over on that. People look at me and ask me about the McHale trade, and to be honest with you, I think both teams won. I think the Knicks win right now. That the Nets win down the road.
Yeah, I mean, you got 5 first-round picks for a really nice player,
who at best is a number 2, number 3 option on a team.
Right.
Hold on, but when you did, so I'm going to defend the Knicks on this, and I understand I'm a Knicks fan, but I'll defend it. The Knicks make that trade. Knowing Brunson re-ups for 3 more years. He doesn't do that without that trade. That has to be taken into account. They are going to – so here's the thing. If the Knicks get Brunson to re-up for 3 years and Bridges to re-up for 3 years at the below market value of $100 million for 3 years, which is what McHale – does that put this trade into a different light than otherwise? Because I think it absolutely does.
I agree with you that it does in that sense, but you need to have money to go out and get those intangible pieces. Their front line is jello right now.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see anything before the season either on that front line at all.
No.
I think that trade is going to happen. They're going to re-sign Ochoa. I fully believe they will re-sign Ochoa.
I assume they will.
I think they're going to have to move Randall to get some front court.
No, I don't think that will happen. I think you re-sign Ochoa for what, $8 million? Let's say $8 million, right? You sign another guy, whoever that guy is. You sign a guy with the room exemption for $5 million, and then net at the trade deadline, you have $13 million to trade. And there are many.
Robert Williams
if he's healthy. Wendell Carter if he's healthy. You could, and I'm not saying you're going to get.
Where is Wendell Carter now? Is Wendell Carter not in Orlando anymore? Correct?
No, he's in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of where mediocrity goes to die.
But if that is well played. Oh no, he's actually according to this, he's in Orlando. Sorry, he's in Orlando.
Oh, I thought he got traded.
No, he got traded from Chicago to Orlando. So
Chicago
to Orlando.
I gotta hit the road.
All right, see you, buddy.
I gotta hit the road.
See ya. Adios, amigo. So he signed an
call later in the
extension.
week.
So he makes $13 million. So if you could trade Achua, whoever you sign with the room exemption, and one of those first rounders that may happen, may not, or even the swap, and you can get a Wendell Carter, that works. But we're only talking about that because our esteemed leader was here and he had to leave. So, where were we? We were talking tennis for a second, but I think we can go off of tennis. Have you watched any of the surfing in Tahiti?
I have not.
I found out that first of all, I did not know that Tahiti had the surfing, and I also did not know that.
Why would it be in Tahiti?
Because the waves in
Where
France are not big enough for surfing. For the same reason
where is Tahiti? Wait a minute. Where is Tahiti in relationship to France?
French Polynesia. It's not close. But they are all living on a cruise ship. So
it's near Bora Bora, isn't it?
Yep,
Kind of in
yep.
that vicinity.
Yep. So the interesting part is the Olympic Village in France is basically a dorm room, right? Because that's what most Olympic villages are. And they have like cardboard beds, what they've called cardboard beds. The Olympic Village, because they have to have one in Tahiti, is a cruise liner where they're on like a 5-star cruise ship for surfing. That's basically what you get. So I think you froze again. Wow, we are having. No. So in 2028, the softball is taking place in Nebraska, which I did not know, and there's other events that are taking place in Nebraska. Nebraska 2028 Olympics. So you have. Hold on. All the locations. Hold on. There are definitely stuff taking place in Nebraska for the 2028 Olympics. And it's just, like you can't do everything in one place. So the softball is taking place in Nebraska because that's close to LA. I mean, why not? And why not? But it's taking place, I believe, where the Little League World Series is happening. So, and they decided to put the
I thought the Little League World Series was in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
No, it's College World Series. College World Series. Okay. They decided that the swimming is going to be in SoFi after experimenting with it in Indianapolis at Lucas Field. They bring in a portable pool and put it into SoFi, which I think is amazing that you could do that. So they had 32,000 people at the Olympic trials in Lucas Field. So they're going to do that for the Olympics. We'll have more about the Olympics other than the U.S. winning gold in the gymnastics, because truthfully, I didn't watch any of it, but did I doubt that Simone Biles was going to do Simone Biles things? No. All right. So this week, in the last 2 weeks, we have some Hall of Fames, right? Some Hall of Fame inductions for the baseball was last week, and for the football is this week, and this upcoming week. I know, Seth, we've gone through the big Hall of Fame versus the small Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And I know we have the Mike Trouts, we have the Max Scherzers, right? We have the Justin Verlanders and the Clayton.
Yeah, you have the no doubters.
The no doubters, right? And I struggle with the NFL and no doubters, though. I just do, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, because they're all just. I get Mahomes has 3 championships, right? He's here, but how are you differentiating between Joe Burrow and anybody else? I'm just throwing out guys, right? Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback, probably, but
yes.
Is he that much better than number 6 or number 8 or number 10? And I struggle with those, and with the offensive explosion that's happened in the last 10 years, I struggle with wideouts. I struggle with running backs. Running backs, there are none. I mean, whose running backs McCaffrey's a Hall of Famer in all likelihood, but if he retired today, would he be?
No,
Okay, with Derrick Henry?
I don't think so.
With Derrick Henry today?
Probably not.
Okay,
It's just
so
not
we have,
I mean, there's probably a better chance Henry, because I think Henry's led the league in rushing, 3 years?
yep,
McCaffrey's led once.
yep.
But it's hard at all. Like wide receiver, how many? After you get through the Rice, the Moss, the Owens, how do you differentiate between a Torrey Holt and a Reggie Wayne and an Andre? I mean, Andre Reed made it, but like all these players,
Andre Johnson, right? Andre Johnson is getting in this week.
It's really hard. Right. Well, Andre Johnson, to be fair, had the worst quarterback situation of all these people.
Yep,
And was still considered a top 3 to 5 wideout
sure.
of his top 3. Fitzgerald didn't really have great quarterbacks other than Kurt Warner for a year or two. He kind of rose above. The rest of them, all the stats are so big at this point. As you said, it's very difficult to differentiate on football. Baseball, I struggle with because I just don't know who's that good anymore. I mean, I saw the argument for who's the best living Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Sean, who is the best? Johnny Bench?
Well,
Mike Schmidt?
look, you and I have had this discussion. I think it's probably Mike Schmidt, and Mike Schmidt batted 268. Like,
Yeah.
And look, it's a different time, right? Where batting average wasn't as important, and home runs definitely were. And he's the best.
Batting average has always been important. It's less important now because you have all this other, all the other stats that go with it. But
Mike Schmidt is the second best defensive third baseman of all time.
Okay.
Brooks Robinson by far
Yeah, I get it. And he's probably the best offensive third baseman of all time.
And you can't, unless you are throwing Barry Bonds in that category, which you can if you want to play that game. I do not. Then the only other player that is alive that is the best of all time for their position is Johnny Bench. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'll put Yogi against Johnny Bench any day when Yogi wins 3 MVPs on a stacked Yankees team. So other than that, you don't have a best outfielder argument out there. You don't have unless it's Barry Bonds.
I don't know if you can rate best living player by being the best at his position, because Willie Mays may or may not have been the greatest outfielder of all time, but there is no question he was the greatest living player until he died a couple months ago.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm not sure you couldn't make the argument that he was the best outfielder of all time.
You could, but it certainly is not as cut and dry as a Johnny Bench or a Mike Schmidt.
No, but I'm saying he's in the discussion. So show me another guy that's alive, that's in the discussion for the best player of his position. And I think, is Albert
Randy Johnson?
Is Randy Johnson in the discussion for best left-handed pitcher? Probably. Best pitcher overall? No.
No, but best left-handed pitcher.
Maybe. That's like saying, that's like saying best left-handed first baseman. That's not.
No, it's not, because you're pitching different. It's a different pitching differential is just different.
Okay.
Because you can only have one best starting pitcher of all time, and nobody knows who the hell that is.
That is fair. That is fair. Is Pedro in the discussion for best pitcher of all time? I wouldn't put him in there, right? I think Clemens is. If you take Clemens,
would you put him as a better pitcher? Would you put him as a better pitcher than Clemens? I wouldn't.
Who? Randy Johnson? No, not at all.
No, Pedro.
No, but I wouldn't put Clemens in. Clemens and Bonds are not in my discussion. They're just not. And for right or for wrong,
and neither is A-Rod.
Exactly.
Because let's be honest, A-Rod for shortstop, if you could put there too. I mean, A-Rod's probably the best shortstop of all time.
No, I couldn't.
Third baseman, whatever you want to call
Right. He only played half his career at shortstop. I couldn't put him there. So, I get.
Is there a shortstop you would take above A-Rod all time?
No, because I can't put Honus Wagner in a conversation in a game that I didn't play, that I didn't see, right?
That your great grandfather wasn't alive for. So yeah, I get it.
Right. I mean,
mean,
even Ruth was after Honus Wagner. Honus Wagner and Ty Cobb are in a different game that doesn't exist today, in my opinion. Look, baseball, like you said, is very difficult to decide who that person is. The greatest living player is going to be between Schmidt, Pujols.
Actually, I mean, Koufax.
Right? Koufax. Well, no, because to me, Koufax didn't have this.
The longevity.
Right? That's like saying Terrell Davis is the best running back of all time. For a 3-year period, he probably was.
The difference being that Koufax was so far above and beyond everyone for that 5-6 year run.
I'm not sure Terrell Davis wasn't so far above everybody else for that 5 or 6 year run.
I don't think he was that much further ahead of a Sanders or a Davis or a Smith I mean, he was right in the conversation.
Yeah.
Did Davis? I mean, Davis never won an MVP.
So he went Offensive Player of the Year twice. He won MVP once. He was third in MVP twice. He was AP first team 3 straight years. Yeah, I mean, the year he had 2,000 yards, which was 1998, right? I'm just looking to see how much better he was. That was the year he won MVP too. So let me look at the MVP stats. So just give me a second. So he won MVP. Jamal Anderson was second with 1,846 yards. He had 2,008 yards on 20 less carries. He had 23 total touchdowns. Jamal Anderson had 16. I mean, that's pretty emphatically.
Look, he was. Yeah, he was. I guess. I apologize. I didn't remember to the extent.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, he was definitely, but he only had a 3-year period, right? Was he the best for those 3 years? He was. He was the best running back in football for 3 straight years. I can't put Koufax in that because just there's not enough. There's 7 years. That's it. And look, for those 7 years, he was incredible. But remember, the other thing about that was that Koufax also pitched in a stadium which catered to Sandy Koufax. He pitched in a time where it was a dead ball era, which was catered to pitching. It's like saying Bob Gibson, right, with 1.12. I get it. I totally get it. I struggle with Baseball Hall of Famers and who's available. And the good thing is for me, excuse me, is that for the Baseball Hall of Fame, there's no requirements that you have to put 4 people in. For the NFL, every year you got to put 4 more in. Let's just roll them through. So, I'm not exactly sure how you deal with that part. And are you watering down the Hall of Fame? Look, there's always going to be the best of the time period in which you are living. And if that's
Harold Baines,
where you were, that's just, what's that?
Harold Baines.
Please don't get me started on Mr. Baines. Please don't get me started. By the way, did you know that today is the draft, the trade deadline for Major League Baseball? Do you have any idea?
I did.
Did you care?
Not really. There wasn't any major names that I saw that were.
Well, we still got 45 minutes, by the way. It closes at 6:00. So far, the Padres acquired Tanner Scott, who is a closer. The Mets got Paul Blackburn, another relief pitcher, and an all-star in 2022.
But
Paul DeJong one of my favorite names, actually walked over. He was playing for the White Sox last night. He's playing for the Royals. They're actually playing each other. So he's just switching clubhouses, which is always fun. No, you're right. No big names have been traded. Alex Cobb went from the Giants to the Guardians. Jorge Soler back to the Braves. Luke Jackson.
He went back to Atlanta.
And Josh Bell was acquired by the Diamondbacks this afternoon. There's
Josh
still
Bell feels like has been on every team in the major leagues.
Yeah, basically.
But it's still the two big pitchers from Chicago, from Detroit, haven't been traded.
Nope.
Luis Robert hasn't been traded.
Nope.
So the really big names haven't been traded.
Yeah, in all likelihood, they won't be. I mean, you see the prospects that are going out, and look, with the deadline being the 31st or the 30th as opposed to August 31st, which it used to be, there's two things that happen. Number one, there are more teams in it, so you're going to see more trades, but you're not going to see big trades because teams are still in it, right? You're skirting around the edges. Seth, I am losing my voice, so I'm going to have to log off. I just don't have it in me today. But we'll talk again next week, everybody. Apologies, my voice just doesn't have it. So for Seth Kamens, I'm Sean Palmer.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's on my end. Sorry about that.
All right, we'll talk next week, everybody.